Welcome back, fellow gamer. I want to talk to you today about what gaming rig you should be looking at if you are looking at getting into gaming, or maybe you've been out of gaming for a bit and you want to jump back in with the current generation. You just don't know what to choose. I know for me, it was very hard to decide what console I wanted to get first. Was it the Xbox One? Was it the PS4? I flip-flopped so much I actually brought both back and returned them for each other until eventually settling on the Xbox. And I'll get to that in a moment. And not to forget, there's also Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo's actually still around. They do make great games. They do make a big splashy appearance during E3 and at various points during the year. Now, I also left out pretty much the granddaddy of gaming, which is PC gaming. Originally looked upon as something that was like an aberration on the computer. Like, computers in the old days were not for gaming, they were for doing mundane work. Well, the PC has evolved into this ultimate gaming machine, and there's always those jokes online about the PC master race and how people who play consoles are considered console peasants. Well, what is the choice that you should be making? I'll run down the pros and cons of each platform, and we're going to actually kick it off with PC gaming. The biggest thing about PC gaming is you get to do a lot of customization to your rig. You can upgrade it, you can really push the limits of what is capable on current gen graphics. Games look absolutely stunning if you want them to, and they can look as baseline and as easy to perform as you need it to be. Really, it's made all that much easier by Steam, where you can just purchase massive amounts of games, a lot of times if they're having Steam sales, at huge discounts. It really makes PC gaming an alluring choice, especially with modding capabilities and just the general control that you have as a gamer on what you want to do with your game. Now, obviously, the PCs can be pretty expensive if you want to be pushing into the upper limits. Like, if you're looking at running a game like The Witcher 3 at full settings and having it look amazing, it's going to cost you. But conversely, you can get a pretty inexpensive PC in comparison and run the game just fine with, okay graphics. Maybe even graphics that are comparable on consoles. My personal last PC that I bought for gaming was when StarCraft 2 first came out, and I bought the PC just to play StarCraft 2, and I believe Civ 5. I think I had Civ 5 before. No, I bought Civ 5 afterwards. So it's been quite some time. Actually, today I was talking to somebody on Reddit who was helping me out on Discord trying to build a new PC because I want to bring next gen, PC gaming to my channel. So look out for that. And I'm going to be very excited to start, playing these games, because I'm looking at a lot of games that are released and I'm seeing it's on PC and only on PC, and I want to play that, and it's happening more and more. So if you really want a wide variety of games and you want to be able to really customize your game experience, I'd say PC is the way to go, but it might cost you a bit of money. Now next, we're going to go to Nintendo. Now, I have owned every console and every product Nintendo's put out since the original NES, with the exception of the Wii U. I decided not to buy the Wii U. I felt that it just wasn't enough of a leap forward for me to justify the cost of a brand new console. And I haven't really regretted that decision, to be honest. Yeah, I want to play Smash. The newest Smash Brothers is incredible. I've watched gameplay, it looks great, but I'm not gonna buy that one that one game and spend all that money on console. But with that said, so I'm giving you the kind of that context to just show you how deep I've been in Nintendo. I grew up with Nintendo. I have great memories. I still remember getting the Nintendo. I remember getting certain games like Super Mario Brothers 3. I remember those moments. That's how much gaming meant to me as a child, and how strong of a ties I had with Nintendo. But with the Wii U, they went a different direction. They didn't go for, ultra HD graphics. They didn't go for cutting edge specs. They went for a different type of gameplay. Games like, the Wario Party game, that was it's almost incredible, how hard it is to find. It's not almost incredible, it is incredible. And you had a lot of different other games like, Wii U Sports. They really brought a different spin on gaming. So if you're looking at something that is different than a Call of Duty experience, which a lot of games try to mimic nowadays, Nintendo offers a great variety of gaming, but they do lack in mature gaming categories. So while you can consider, a Zelda or even a Super Smash Brothers to be adult entertainment, which I would say it is, you don't get that variety that you would on any of the other platforms, because a lot of their games try to pander to younger crowds. Now, obviously, if you are a teenager who's grown up with, like titles like Pokemon, who can still play Pokemon. I was never into Pokemon, the game itself. It was just at my age precipice, I was focused on other things. So to me, new Pokemon games and other games, they don't really appeal to me. Now, it is important to note that the Nintendo NX is around the corner, and maybe that changes things. Like, there was a lot of speculation, and maybe I jump back on the Nintendo bandwagon and go deep, depending on how great of a gaming system this is. It's just, there's so much in the air right now. I'm referencing specifically the Wii U. So if you're viewing this and the Nintendo NX is out, I'll have a review. Check it out. Until then, I would say if you're looking at Nintendo, you're looking for creative types of games, not necessarily in a competitive setting, except for like the few that they do have, like, again, Super Smash Brothers. Next is PlayStation. So I've owned the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 4. I didn't own the PlayStation 3. I meant to get it, never got around to it, and before I was able to, the next gen just kind of like came right around. One thing I've always admired with PlayStation titles, and especially exclusive titles, is that they had the bar set high on most games. I'd say on like 95% of the games, the bar was set fairly high. I look at, on the PS1, Final Fantasy VII. To me, that was like the holy grail of the PlayStation game. And even with PS2, it was the Ratchet and Clank series. Like, for me, like, there's just, listening to that soundtrack still evokes positive memories. Final Fantasy X as well was a great title for the PS2. And PS3 had a lot of great titles too. You look at the Uncharted series, The Last of Us. Two of those titles were very fortunate to get on the PS4. So people like me who missed out are able to now go and get those games and play them. So PlayStation has a strong record of quality parts, so hardware. I have not had, like, knock on wood, that my PS4 doesn't break. I have not had a malfunction with PlayStation products ever. I can turn on my PS2 right now and it'll still turn on, and I can play games. That kind of longevity and craftsmanship means a lot to me, and you'll see why in a few moments. You already know where I'm going with this if you've been in the gaming world for more than like 10 minutes. So coupled with fantastic game lineup of exclusive titles, the polished hardware that really performs well and almost always above average compared to the Xbox. Really, the only downside that you can think of for PlayStation is that there's no backwards compatibility with the PS4. So you are limited in your titles that you can play, whereas an Xbox One has an extensive back catalog, and I'll again mention that in a moment. So you need to look at that. And if you're okay with just playing whatever's coming out next, then that backwards compatibility is, out the window, and PS4 is probably your go-to experience for a console. And really, like, know that most of the time you're getting quality products. Like, yeah, there was that whole PlayStation network incident a few years back, where it was, I think, like the whole summer or a few months, where the servers were just shut down. I don't think they'll be making like those types of mistakes again. Now, yes, it was like external factors, but I think they've readied up, and we won't see something like that happen again. And they did, I find, make right with the players. Now, last but not least is Microsoft. I have owned the Xbox 360, and now the Xbox One. I had pretty much zero problems with my Xbox, the original. And I think the power brick gave out. I think that was the issue. I know that I had parts sent to me from Microsoft, and it was done fairly quickly, so I was okay with that. The original Xbox, was revolutionary. I find it really changed the game. I already had my PS2, and when I got my Xbox, like, I was blown away. For me, it was like, in my mind at that time, Xbox was better than PlayStation. Mainly because of Halo. I think Halo Combat Evolved really did it for me. I still have amazing memories from playing Halo. Then the Xbox 360 rolled around. And, they continued with their Halo titles and a lot of other great, like Gears of War and other great independent titles. and other great exclusive titles. But what really did me in was I traded in my Xbox 5 times. And I say traded in, that's not the appropriate term. I sent Microsoft 5 different Xboxes because they broke. And they weren't all red ring of death. Like, I had some where the lens fell out of the reading tray. The power gave out, like, inside the Xbox. It wasn't the actual cord. And I was really worried about jumping on Xbox One because of my experiences with the Xbox 360. And that harkens back to why I kept flip-flopping back and forth between PS4 and Xbox One when I was looking at which one to buy. I didn't want an Xbox One because of the issues that had plagued the Xbox 360. I'm like, you know what, I don't want to take that chance. And I had stayed out of buying a next-gen console for enough months afterwards that I saw that people weren't really having that many problems. So I was like, you know what, I think that was that and Halo, the Anniversary Edition, were what really got me to go Xbox over PS4 to begin with. And I look at it now, my Xbox is 2.5 years old, and it is, every time I put in a disc, it's making a grinding noise, and I get an error where the game can't read. It gets happened sometimes on my stream where all of a sudden I'm like trying to boot up, and I'm running late because I have to put in the disc 7-8 times in order for it to read, and it's grinding. Now, I went and I contacted Microsoft. Yeah, we can have it repaired for you. It's only going to cost you $160 Canadian. And it's like, no, I'm not paying $160 because your hardware can't last 2.5 years. Like, that's ridiculous. Like I mentioned, I can pop in my PS2 right now. I can plug it on the wall, put in a game, and play. Why is it that after all these years, the PS2 is no problems, and I played the hell out of that console? Why is it that this, which I had to stop playing for about 7 months, so it's probably got about a year and a half's use on it, like, why is it already, like, causing problems? Like, and again, you're forcing me to pay for it. Like, I'm not entitled in thinking that everything should be free, but something shouldn't be breaking after a year and a half's use. And that's the thing that you're going to get with Microsoft. You're going to get shoddy hardware. You're going to get great games. You know, my Xbox One Elite controller, I find is craftsmanship done well. But why is it my console is not standing up? So that's something you need to keep in mind. Your Xbox, if you go Xbox, has a chance of busting. Now, they might be the cheaper option because of sales that you might be having. If you're not getting the Kinect, the Xbox is cheaper than the PlayStation. And again, I'm speaking from my local area. It might be cheaper up front, but you need to realize that it could happen where all of a sudden it gets more expensive because you are paying for repairs. But I love the games that are on. I love Xbox Live. Like, yeah, most of my friends are on it. I think that if my friends weren't on Xbox, I would have dropped it by now. With this happening, and I want to get the next version of the Xbox that's coming out, but I don't want it to crap out on me again. Like, it's tough. And it's something that I want to be upfront with you if you're looking at buying Microsoft. They need to up their game. That's what needs to happen. Until then, I'd place them probably last on the list. I'd say go PlayStation if you're going to go console. And if you are debating between PC and console, I'd say go PC. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't yet own a PC. But I've been a PC gamer like all my life up until I guess a few years ago when I just couldn't run games anymore. So I hope that was of use to you if you're trying to make the decision on what gaming platform to jump in on. I would love to know your opinion. What's your favorite console? It could be past or present. And what's your favorite game from that console? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. If you'd like to see more, click on one of the 2 videos that are there, or click on show more in the description below to see when and what we upload, as well as when we stream. And if you need an update on what exactly we're going to be streaming that week, don't be shy to hit us up in the comments or reach out to us on Twitter. We'll be more than happy to chat. Until next time, good gaming.